Hello and welcome to Startup Africa, the lively show broadcasted to you every Thursday on the Tunacheki YouTube channel. I'm your host Pamelanga, and on this show we bring to you startup innovations that are shaking the African continent, followed by an exclusive startup entrepreneur interview you don't ever want to miss out. So let's get the show started with startup updates. Our first stop is in Ethiopia, where we discover a startup called Mahabat Home-Based Care Services. This is a nursing company established legally in January 2017 by Nebiwat Dimeke. They offer nursing procedures that a patient would normally receive if they were ever admitted in a hospital. They also offer 6 weeks trainings for free for home-based care service providers. Their major marketing strategy is to establish partnerships with hospitals in their communities in order to access their clientele easier. Next, we move to Uganda, where we discover a startup called Numida. Every small business in Africa deserves access to digital banking services. This includes plenty of credit. Although these small businesses contribute to the economic growth and 1/3 of the continent's GDP, they often don't have access to credit or other financial services due to their size and informality. This is where the startup steps in. Founded in 2017 by Mina Shahid, Catherine Dennis, and Ben Best, this startup aims to capitalize on the opportunity of creating East Africa's first digital fintech targeting semi-formal and micro small businesses. Our last stop is in Nigeria, where we discover an online platform that trains public and general health practitioners. They offer online courses in various categories such as radiology, dental surgery, and more. Utrecht. Utrecht is an online platform that aims to support the continuous growth of health practitioners. Founded in 2017 by Farid Kabir, today it has over 8,000 subscribers, 27 courses, and 32 facilitators. That's it for this week's Startup Update segment. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't already tuned into the Mindful Entrepreneur 3rd season, the links are in the description box. Don't go anywhere because we're about to start our startup interview. Hello guys, welcome back to the second segment of Startup Africa. You guys, we always have a special guest, and every time I say special guest, I mean, the people we receive on this show are always special, but we have another special guest. I say that all the time. But we have the founder of AfroTongues. This is for people who want to learn their mother tongue and they're from Africa or from anywhere in the world, and they're like, I wish I could learn, some Lingala or something. Well, this guy actually has the platform that solves all that problem. Please welcome Derek. Hi, Derek.
Hello, thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty well. I'm excited for this.
All right. So which part of the US are you calling us from? Which state?
Texas. Dallas, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Hey.
No, Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. Hey.
Yeah.
So you have the opportunity to reintroduce yourself and tell everybody that's watching what is it that you do.
All right. So again, my name is Derek. I'm the founder and CEO of AfroTongues. It's the first crowdsourced mobile app for African languages. To date, we currently have lessons in 7 languages. We're hoping to add more in the near future. And like she said, it's really an opportunity for us to all start communicating with one another in African languages. Period.
That's the way we have to move. Last week, actually, we had received a guest who was on this path, on this journey, had this organization of promoting Kiswahili all over the African continent, saying that Kiswahili should be the language every African speak, and the same notion, the same intention of changing the whole colonial power and everything. What the colonial powers had left as a means of communication, we should adopt our own languages. So what do you think, what is that motivation that got you to be like, I want to create a platform, I want to create an app where Africans need to speak our own languages?
That's a really long story, but in a nutshell, in a nutshell, a few years ago, I worked in like a pretty global environment. There were people from all over the world, and I was hearing at least 6 languages a day, sometimes upwards of a dozen. And a lot of the people there were multilingual. And being in Texas, the only languages you really hear are English and Spanish. And it made me want to learn a language, and just naturally, I wanted it to be an African language. So Swahili came about, the opportunity, and when I started to learn, I realized there's not really any or many resources out there available. And when you look at a lot of the platforms, they don't value African languages, and that was a problem for me. So I'm just the type of person, if I see something that's a problem, I try to do something about it.
Yeah. And cool thing about you guys is you guys explain how people can learn different languages through your website before the person gets on the app. So how does that actually work? How does that person, what's the procedure when the person gets the app, learns the language? What's that all about?
What's the procedure in terms of learning the language?
Yeah, on the platform, yeah.
So it's listen and repeat. We put out the spelling of the words, and it's just a way of listening, repeating the words, and just through memory.
Yeah.
Repetition.
And so, yeah. So listen and repeat. And how fast, like if someone's taking the course, how long does it take for the person to actually master the language? According to your platform, what are the packages, monthly packages, yearly? How long do you think a person that subscribes or takes in the app can learn the language?
So we don't have subscriptions, and we're not at the stage yet where it's fluency, like you can master fluency. We're pretty much right now, like very basic phrases, because at least here in the States, it's the first time a lot of people are being introduced to these languages. And they have their own formatting that's so different from, like English, French.
Yeah.
So we haven't reached that stage just yet, but that is the goal, is to provide it where there's a lot more fluency and, getting really into the grammar of the languages and how to structure sentences.
Mm-hmm. And for you personally, what has been the experience that what's that thing that has made you kind of enjoy creating this platform?
Like say, I like to create, my mindset is making everything I want to see in the world. And, I will say over this past week, I've gotten a lot of emails from people from like Norway, from Jamaica, on the continent, and South Africa, Ethiopia, Ghana. And it's crazy to see, that there was clearly a void here. And for people to affirm it and, just let me know, if nothing else, that they appreciate it, that really drives me, encourages me to continue with it. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing else out there like it. And
yeah, there really isn't. And so, have you visited any African countries before, or had interacted with people from African countries before?
Now, interacting, yes, I've interacted with a lot of people here. Just given the previous job I was at, and just my own personal life, I'm a globally minded person, a Pan-Africanist, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of love for people I see as brothers and sisters, cousins that are here in the States, and I try to connect with them. So I have friends from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, the DRC, Ghana. So I haven't had the opportunity to visit just yet, but that is on the itinerary. Hopefully 2022.
Yeah, we'd love to. You should come and visit Cameroon. It'll be very, very fun for you to come and see, because we have a lot of ethnic groups. We're actually called the African Miniature. We have a lot of ethnic groups, lots of different food variety. So here the culture is felt. I wanted to go in and ask you, you said that you wanted to, whatever you think in your mind, you want to bring into realization. What has been like the hardest thing in this creation process of putting this platform out there?
Definitely roadblocks, with the whole pandemic, a lot of the plans, and then just things in my own personal life that were happening, I would say about a year ago. Things kind of took a back seat as far as the app was concerned. I would think that's been the hardest thing, just because you have the vision, right? And, things don't always go as planned. You want to go from point A to B, but on that way, there's a ditch here that you go down, and then you have to go around this rock, and, it's that
Terrible.
kind of, yeah.
It's that kind of stuff. Did you always know you were going to do this? Did you always know you were going to do something to promote the African culture, your ancestors, all of that? Did you always knew that this was going to be what you were going to do? Entrepreneurship specifically?
Not necessarily. It's something I've really kind of grown into. Like I say, I was at the place I was before. I was already starting to think a bit more African centered, but this app. I'm sorry. I think my neighbors are dragging something upstairs. What was I saying? The app itself, it wasn't an idea just yet. It's something I began to grow into over the years, and it was finally a realization for me.
So it wasn't something that you kind of grew. It's something that you kind of grew into. Do you like being an entrepreneur? Who can call you that?
Yes, I do. For me, entrepreneurship, personally, is more like an expression of creativity. So any kind of ideas that I noticed, like, wow, it would be cool if there was this, or somebody should do ABC. I kind of take kind of mindset with entrepreneurship and pursue it.
Yeah, it's a great journey, but it's not an easy journey. It's like you have to put yourself to wake up every morning and be like, I have to make this dream come true. Sometimes sometimes you're motivated, sometimes you're not really motivated, you're just there. So how did you get to push yourself to get to that point where, this could be going on, XYZ could be falling off the cliff, but I still want to do this. How did you kind of motivate yourself to keep on going until, well, you'd say you're still at the very basic level, but to get to this level?
Just the idea of legacy. I want to leave something behind. It's very deep for me. That's the quickest way I could put it. Is just I want to provide a legacy. I want to be someone that provides something that the world hasn't had before, or that'll be remembered, that'll hopefully shift things, for the future generations. And that's what gets me up. That's what makes me work on it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. You're like, this is something that you're very proud of, and you should be very proud of it, because it's, like you say, it's something that is very unique, and we don't have African teaching platforms. We don't have platforms that promote our own languages. It's very rare to see that. Even on learning platforms, it's mostly the Spanish, the English, the Norway, the Dan, like all these, the Norwegian, the other languages, but you don't see, for instance, I'm Etun. Like, I don't see Etun being taught on the internet. If I tap that, that's my tribe. So I won't see that being learned. And I don't personally know my language that well. So even if I wanted to learn, I always thought, like, who is going to teach me unless it's my mom? Unless it's my mom who's going to teach me, like, who's going to teach me? But I could easily go, like, how to learn English, and thousands of people would teach me. So it's like you're starting something. Hopefully people will just join in the train. Okay, before we leave, though, I want to ask you, you said you've interacted with a lot of Africans, and what is the one thing that you kind of love about us, that you like about Africans?
Just in my experience, there's a very big can-do spirit. And I think in a lot of ways, a lot of you actually have a bit more of a global view than us here in America, just because for the longest, we really didn't have the opportunity to travel or to immigrate to another country. And I think those are changing now. And I think there's a lot for us to learn just from you all in terms of that, and, creating a bit of our own diasporas or just relations with one another. Because I see it on the African side.
Yeah. Any promotion of Africans, I'm there. Like, hey. So tell everybody how they can get the app, how they can subscribe, how they can get on to AfroTongues and support it.
So we're available on Google Play as well as the App Store. If you search AfroTongues, we have a free version, and then we also have an ad-free version on both platforms. And you can go there. There's a sign-up form if you're interested in being a contributor. And, again, like, it's very small right now, but I just want people to continue with us and stick with us, because we can only go up from here.
Yeah, it's only up from here. Thank you so much, Derek, for tuning in, for coming in for the interview. I hope everybody who tuned in had fun. Thank you for, squeezing in your time for us. Hope you enjoyed the interview, Derek.
I did. Now, really quick, do you know how to say thank you? And it was Etun, right?
Yeah, I do.
How would you say that?
Wait. My mind is in English right now.
Abungang.
Abungang.
Yes.
I don't think I said it yes, but I'm trying to say.
Abungang means thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Startup Africa. You can support our mini-series by subscribing to our YouTube channel or becoming our Patreon member. Also check out tunacheki.tv for more news updates. I'm your host Pamelanga. Catch you next week, same time, same place. And remember, Africa is always watching.